Anxiety doesn't always look like the stereotypes we see. It doesn't always come as panic attacks or frantic pacing. For a lot of men, it's a quiet struggle, a weight you carry alone. It hides behind the strong, steady expressions, the jokes, the composed exterior, silent, unspoken, but ever present. For many men, admitting to anxiety feels like admitting weakness. You push it down, convinced that dealing with it on your own is just part of being a man. But inside, it's exhausting, draining, and hard to escape. According to recent studies, men are less likely to seek help for mental health issues. And for millions, anxiety is an everyday reality that often goes unnoticed. Let's talk about a few ways this might show up. Maybe you'll see yourself in some of these patterns or recognize someone you know. One common sign of anxiety for men: procrastination. It's not laziness. Sometimes it's a way to avoid the pressure of being the one who has to solve everything. You might feel the weight of expectations at work, in relationships, in life goals, and instead of diving in, you delay. You get lost in distractions, avoiding that sense of failure or feeling like you're not doing enough. But in reality, the stress only builds up, piling on the pressure for next time. Another sign? Over-planning. You feel like you need to control every detail, trying to account for all the what-ifs. This need for control is often mistaken for responsibility or being prepared. But deep down, it's about protecting yourself from the unknown. You spend hours planning, listing, mapping things out. But no matter how much you plan, you never feel fully ready. The mind stays on high alert, always bracing for what could go wrong, rather than finding any real peace. Then there's social pressure. For men, anxiety around social events can be complicated. You may look forward to seeing friends, to being out, to connecting. But when the day comes, something pulls you back. The idea of putting on a brave face, of being on, can feel like too much. And so you cancel with a mix of relief and guilt. Even with the people you trust, there's a feeling that you have to maintain a certain image of strength, of calm, of having it all together. And sometimes that image feels impossible to hold up. Another sign that's often overlooked: overthinking. Every conversation, every look, every interaction can become something you dissect in your mind. Did you say the right thing? Was there a better way to handle that? What if they thought you were off or noticed the tension in your voice? For men who are often told to be unshakable, this hyper-awareness of your own words and actions can feel like a constant mental weight. And yet talking about it, that's a challenge on its own. And maybe one of the hardest things about anxiety as a man. Feeling like no one quite understands. When people around you say everyone gets stressed, it's part of life, it can be isolating. To feel your experience minimized, or to hear that you just need to relax, can make it harder to even acknowledge your own struggle. You end up pushing it down further, carrying it alone, and it becomes something that you live with silently. It's not just stress, it's a part of you, impacting everything from your mindset to your relationships. Anxiety is often unseen in men. It shows up in subtle ways and in the quiet moments of doubt, in the heavy thoughts, in the invisible weight that doesn't seem to let up. These patterns may seem ordinary, but for many men, they're a constant battle beneath the surface. And while society might not talk about it much, anxiety doesn't make you weak. In fact, acknowledging it takes strength. It's the first step toward making things better, toward building a healthier life, not just for yourself, but for everyone who depends on you. Let us know if any of this feels familiar to you. Sharing our stories can make a difference. not just for ourselves, but for other men who might be silently going through the same. Thank you for watching, and remember, it's okay to struggle. You're not alone in this.